G'day and welcome to the Inforunners. I'm XQ, joined today by Badges. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad. Frying slowly. It's one of the UK's few warm weeks, so yeah, we're all lazing about and being utterly useless in the face of remorseless heat. Yeah, other than that, I'm good. How about yourself?
That's pretty much how it describes my brain, fried right now. Yeah, I'm pretty exhausted. Haven't had a lot of sleep, and I got to get up in about 2 hours after I do this video to do a live stream. So Algrid could make this one, but he can sleep in a bit longer and make the next one. That's fine. So let's kick it off real quick. We'll get over and get this sorted so I can get back to bed. Right. Okay, Alien Week. Is there anything that you're looking forward to here, Badges, real quick?
I mean, I must admit, I was expecting a new ship. Given the fact that we had such kind of small, as in not large ships, not even medium ship offerings at Invictus, I was kind of expecting something. Maybe it comes later, but I'm a little surprised that they've not led with it.
Yeah. Traditionally they do lead with it too, so I wonder if it's another thing where a ship got delayed, kind of because we heard about a ship coming for Alien Week last year and it didn't turn up, and then it was a ship in the code this year. Doesn't look like it turned up, but yeah, hopefully it comes later on in the week. But at this point, I don't think I'm going to hold my breath unless they're delaying it for and I kind of doubt that for ISC, but we'll see. We'll see. All right.
Yeah.
Straight first cab off the rank, Badges. The Blade. What's your thoughts on this one?
It's Blade-like.
It's sharp, just like Badges.
I've had various things, so I haven't flown a Blade in quite some time, but I've had varying things on it that it's gone through various balance passes and stuff. It's not always easy to fly, so yeah.
It's so at the moment it's in a bit of a meta, but at its price point, a lot of combat ships especially alien combat ships, I struggle to get behind. And you'll hear me say that about a lot of these ships today. They the value doesn't just it's just not quite there for me personally, and this is one of them, and there's another one that's probably even worse we'll talk about, but yeah, the Blade's one of the worst ones for me, so yeah. But if it's for you, don't let us stop you. Again, but we are just trying to give you recommended general advice here, so yeah. All right, the next one.
You didn't see anything.
Yep. He's got a little bit of background noise. That's all Badges. All right, Defender. This one I actually do like. I think as alien fighters go, it's still expensive, like everything I said about the Blade. But just it has that long distance. It's got 2 beds in it. It's essentially a saber that takes 2 people with beds. So yeah, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's not for me. It's not my style of ship. But I can see why people would like it. And it's very, very different feel inside. It's got a walk around interior, and it feels very much kind of alive inside, if that makes any sense. It's almost got an alien, as in, from the film Aliens interior feel to it.
Yeah, I can see where you're going there. The Glaive. Yeah, this is kind of crazy to me. It's not as strong as a Hornet, yet it's more than double the price. Yeah, you're paying a premium for. It's not even a real Glaive; it's a reproduction. So, yeah, I just buy 2 Hornets. Like,
Yeah, I mean, and you know me, I don't like to talk about money, but there is so much more you can get. So unless you're looking at this and thinking, I absolutely need the Glaive, of course, and you can afford it, and it's not going to, leave you on beans on toast for the rest of the month, then by all means. But, I think if you're just looking speculative, there's a lot more you can get for that money.
Yeah. So here's kind of an example. This was 150. It's gone up to 170 now that it's in game. But that is a better, more like you can get 2 of these to the Glaive. So yes, it's not really a combat ship. It's more of a scout craft, and it's going to come into its own with racing and jump point navigation down the line. And you can tell that this ship is going to have a renaissance again when it comes back around. But again, there's just certain ships that are really over, especially anything that's Vandal just seems to be way higher, but not justified. So yeah. Anything you want to add about the Cartwheel?
No, I kind of like it. It doesn't look like that when it's landed. It's very much collapses down on itself. The stairs kind of hover in midair that you use to climb into it. Again, very alien feeling ship, and very distinctive when you see it flying around. It's very kind of cool.
Yeah. So this is one of the skins for it, and that's it sitting down in the hangar. So that's what you're talking about there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The Mitchman. If you were lucky enough to get this back when it was originally out, it was at $250 US. It was an absolute steal of that price. I still think as alien ships go that this is, I can't believe I'm saying this is relatively cheap. You're getting essentially an 890 jump size ship for 650. Now, if you actually kind of do the math on that, that was that's $50 over the original concept price for the 890 jump. So I think it kind of shows the potential of where this is going to end up jumping to. But wait and see. And anyone that's kind of seen the interior of it, I think it has a lot more luxury on it now than the actual 890 jump does itself.
It's one of those things that, it's a push calling any ship, any in-game item at $650 cheap.
Yeah.
But when you look at the size of, you look at something Valkyrie compared to Prowler, the price difference there, you compare this then to something of comparable size, you'd expect this to be a lot more expensive. And I think, the video that they did on it, once they cleared up the aspect issues that they had that made it look a bit chubby, this is going to be a really, really popular ship.
Yeah. No doubt.
A lot of these in the past.
And I'm not big into luxury ships, and I think it looks more luxurious than the 890 jump. So yeah. Right, the Nox. This falls under the whole vehicle thing. Don't buy vehicles. It's kind of the street racer of bikes. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But honestly, earn this thing in game. It's not worth it. And I almost think we could say that about almost every ship other than the Merchantman that we've talked about so far. They're very much an earning game for me. Badges, any different for you?
No, I had a Nox for a while. Like I had an Ursa and I had a thing. I bought them because I wanted to do the whole Constellation kind of get, like multi-vehicle, multi-crew gameplay. But yeah, then I melted them and got some other stuff. But I think of all the bikes and the hover stuff at the moment, this is my favorite. Yeah, like it. Yeah, nicely stylized.
And that's fine. If you like something, you go get it. Again, wise advice from us here. Right, $440. This is the ship I was talking about, the Prowler. For a long time, the Hoplite was actually at $235. The Aegis Vanguard Hoplite was $235, yet in game it was actually more expensive than this. And now they've added some money to this, and this ends up being $1 million more in game. But when you fly this, it just does not, like, this costs more than a Reclaimer. And I don't know how anyone can fly this and go, this feels like a $440 ship when you've literally got the size of the ship that a Reclaimer is. And there's it's more expensive than some of I think there's a couple of the Hercules as well. It's more expensive than a Caterpillar. It's more expensive than a Starfarer. Like, there's a whole bunch of ships I can put in there that this ship clearly sits behind. And again, it is a reproduction. It is not a true alien ship. It is a Tavaran reproduction by Xperia. So it is. I just can't justify it. Badges, yourself?
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff missing from this. It's got Gravlev kind of sort of technology, those circles on it, very much like the Nebuchadnezzar from the Matrix.
Yep.
They're supposed to mean that it can basically hug the ground, kind of like a hover vehicle can, or even use that to approach enemy ships.
Yep.
And during the Tavaran War, the actual Tavaran prowlers were used to go and land undetected, effectively, on a UEE capital ship, and everyone would get out using the air shields on the side and then basically cut their way into the capital ship. And these things cause quite some terror because of that ability, that all of a sudden, you'd have Tavaran borders on your ship and you had no idea that they were there. I don't think they're going to be quite that effective, the ones they give to us, because that would be really weird to make that faithful a reproduction that's that effective. So I don't think you're going to be sneaking up and landing undetected on capital ships.
And it was about 400 years earlier, so it's also, they might see you coming in, but if you can get in, I think it'll be an art to get in that undetected.
Exactly that. But one of the things I really like is you put it into VTOL mode rather than landing, and the wings on either side splay so that they actually act as basically rigid defenses cover for the guys that are jumping out the side. And this is also great because it doesn't have one exit, it has multiple. So you can't just sit there with an LMG and hit everyone coming out the door. They're all dropping out of different doors on the sides. Very cool, but struggles to justify its price tag.
Agreed. I think it really does have that, suffers from that rule of cool thing a bit, but I do also agree with you what you said there about its time will come again. It definitely has a lot of things that needs to be added to it. So, maybe there's something that is there that we haven't seen yet, but I'm going to be honest with you, I think it is really overpriced for what it is, because it really does have that combat and alien tax. It's kind of like got a double whammy on it, so it just just a bit too steep for what it is. For me, it's an earning game, especially when you find out like it's only $1 million more than the Hoplite, and the Hoplite's like something. There's like something
almost
million.
Half the price.
We'll put it this way: the Redeemer is cheaper, but costs twice as much in game. So there you go. Yeah. Right, the Raelian. I was very surprised when this came out at the price point it came out, and I still think at its current price point, it's reasonably, for an alien ship, cheap. It's a alien cargo ship, and when it came out, it was what, $225. I can't really. It's the same price as roughly as MSR when it came out, or a Terrapin. A Terrapin's $220. The Defender, so you're paying $5 more than a Defender. Yeah, it's hard to pass up at that price. So I don't know. What's your thoughts on that, Badges?
I like it. I like the fact that it's doing what I hoped alien ships would do, but it's the same but different. So you look at the cargo pods, the different sizes, the different shapes to the ones that human ones use. But it's got that again. It's got a very distinctive silhouette. And it's going to stand out. You fly one of these around. Not everyone's going to be in one. It's going to be quite good looking. And from the concept work we've seen of the inside, that's going to be pretty cool too.
I know you're a big fan of the back scratches, so yeah, I know you're looking forward to that. I think the other thing I'll add real quick is this is, if you kind of look at the original plan, what the original Banner Merchman was meant to be, but now the original Banner Merchman's just kind of exploded into something else. So yeah. Right, Santoki Eye at 220. This is due out around September, according to the roadmap. So, actually, funny enough, if I can find it, I found this, and it's even titled Santoki Eye SC JPEG. So I think they've kind of got it almost in game. And this is, I did find this on this page, I think it was. Yeah, there it is there. So if you go into the com link, you can find that there. So they are definitely not too far away. So this is a good chance to get it before it comes out and goes up in price. How much it'll go up? Again, at this price point, we had the MSR go from, I think it was 225 to 260 or 220 to 260. So you're looking at a $35 to $30 price bump somewhere in there if this does go up there. But I'm not saying this will go up to that price, but that's roughly the ballpark you're looking at. So nice time. And if you don't buy it, also a good potential to pick up a CCU for it and put that into your chains as well. So yeah, I will be looking at this myself later on in the week when I've had some sleep to add to my own CCU chains. Right. What about you, Badges? Anything you want to add about the Santoki Eye, or wait and see for you?
Wait and see. Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. All right. And the Talon, and I think the next one will be the Shrike. Yeah, so we can put these two together. Now, I know you picked up this one when it originally dropped, yeah?
I did. I just, there's something about that design, and when the wings open out, the fact that the cockpit is also, the entire cockpit is the escape pod. So when you eject, rather than jumping out of it, the entire pod fires forward. You know, the fact that you close it all up and the inside of the cockpit is actually screens and everything flicks around and you get a real world representation. Everything about it. Really, really good fun, but that credit was put to use, better use elsewhere.
Yep. So there is also a package, Talon Alien Week starter pack, that comes with 6 months insurance and a copy of the game, which is kind of interesting, for $110. Yes, it is full War Bond, where you can actually upgrade into this. I don't have too many qualms about not recommend that to someone, because you're essentially getting the game. You're getting, you know, we'll look at the price there. It goes down by roughly $20. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Paying War Bond to get $20 cheaper?
Yeah, I mean, someone's got to be pretty committed to come into a game, I think, at 110. But then again, watching all the people jumping into Starfield and that Constellation pack they're doing for $300.
Yeah.
Although that's got lots of real world stuff on it. Yeah, I like it. You know, the other thing I really like about it is it's got that AV's Talon armor in it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think though that, like, a Talon's not a real good starter ship, so it already puts you above the Cutlass. So you kind of, you know, if Cutlass, if this was a Cutlass starter pack, oh god, I'd be so on board with it. But pretty much means you're gonna be looking at a freelancer or something like that a little bit higher up. So that's my main difficulty with it. Where another starter pack, you can kind of start small and go through a lot of little ships and try them out on your way up. So it's a lot better for a beginner in my book. But if you're really into fighting, combat, I can kind of get behind this. But I do think we've had better deals further down the chain, like especially at Invictus and stuff like that. But if you don't want to wait, yeah. But again, you know, with AI 6 months away, if you can wait, it's entirely up to you. It's a personal choice, I think, at the end of the day. So yeah. All right. I think we've done the full sweep.
We have.
All right. So CCUs. So there is a Constellation Taurus to Defender for $10. You can get the Heartseeker to the Defender for $5, but that is only, the Heartseeker is only available. So to connect the chain, you'd have to wait all the way around to Valentine's Day next year. So if you're in for the long haul and you want to save $5, you can do that. The problem with that is obviously it's a bit of a waiting game. So if you're unsure, the Taurus is the kind of don't want to wait as much one.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Taurus is the
nice thing is that those Valentine's Day ones, the Heartseekers, come around every single year.
Yeah,
which is why we're talking about a CCU, you know, that, or a ship that people are going, yeah, but hang on, I can't get it. It's been every single year that's been out. So
yeah, it's just that waiting game. Yeah, that makes it hard. Right, Scorpius to Blade. So yeah, Scorpius to Blade. How do I put it? $10, and you basically save, what's that? 35. Yeah, so you save 25. Yeah, again, if that fits in with your CCE chains, go for it. The last one here is, no, I went back and forward a little bit on this with the guy I talked with on CCUs. You got a Liberator or an Orion to Merchantman. They both at the same price point. It's really up to you which one you think is going to come out first. So it kind of he thinks the Liberator is more likely the safer choice. I think the Orion potentially could be, because I think the Orion will come out after the Liberator, because Liberator was sold for Pyro. I think the Orion is much further down the line because it's got a more bespoke gameplay. But really, you've got to work that out for yourself if you were to pick up the CCU. But this is only if you're going into chains. If you're just going for the Merchman today, just, you know, do your own thing. But it is $25, but it saves, what's that, 50. So yeah. not a terrible CC for the price. So yeah. All right. We already talked about Santoki paints. Right. So I did go into the paints and a quick look at paints.
Sorry, X, just before you go on to that, I did have a message from Lemming, who was he's one of our moderators. He's helping us out with the CCU stuff.
Yep.
He just wanted to add that the Hurricane to Santoki might be a good buy because it's probably the last time we can achieve that with credit.
True.
So is his message to us there. So
and
that might be something else that people are wanting to consider.
That's probably the one I'm going to pick up for myself. Just FYI, they're the ones I was looking at for myself. So he's in the same vein as me. All right. These are. I'm only going to show off the new skins. So there are other skins or variations of these skins for other ships, but these are just the new ones. So we've got. I can't remember the name of these ones. Wait, they were here.
So it's the Acellus, isn't it?
Acellus and they don't have it here. What's it called? I don't know the other one. What was the one? Nox. So we'll do the Nox real quick, and I'll get the other name because it'll be the same for all of them. Wanderer, Acellus, and not Wanderer. So there's
okay.
Acellus and Wanderer for the Nox.
Ooh.
And then we've got the Acellus for the Crab or the Defender, and the Wanderer.
The Battle Crab.
Yeah. Same thing for the Prowler. Ooh. I actually like that one a lot. It really goes back to the original Prowler, but with just a little bit of a tint to it. Same thing for the Talon and Shrike with the Wanderer, and then we've got both of them for
Harmony Paint.
The Scout or the Cartwell. So yeah, I don't know. What's your thoughts on those badges? Any that kind of stood out for you? I think for me, it's the Prowler.
Wanderer. Yeah, that's really nice on the Prowler.
Don't mind it on the Defender either, personally.
And I've already got in my buybacks. I've got Acellus, I've got Harmony for various different things. For the Prowler mainly. But yeah, they're really. I mean, and the Shrike, the Talon, just looks great with pretty much anything on it.
So that's probably a really good segue here, going with what Badges just said there. These skins are only really available. Not all of them stay available for all the time. So if you're unsure of that, you can buy them with credit and melt them off into your buyback. And even if you've only got, like, say, I know what's the most expensive one, they're $16. You've got every 24 hours you can melt and buy one off and just cycle them into your buyback, and it removes that limited factor, and you can buy them back whenever you want then. And that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy one of everything and melt them off in case I ever want them back. So yeah. Alrighty then. With that, Badges, I think we are done. That is another Invictus essentially wrapped up with a 2-week break in the middle. There will obviously be more than likely new CCUs that cycle in and out. So do keep an eye on dear for that for yourself. If they do come up, I might mention them on the weekend show if we see them another couple beforehand, or on the live streams as I mentioned as well. Algrid will be joining me for a live stream later on today, so I'm sure I'll go through most of the stuff again with him though, so you can join us on live stream for that. So anything you want to add, Badges, or hear in the comments from people below?
No, just kind of I guess we're going to hear anyway the general shock that there wasn't a new ship offering that comes from Fleet Week, or so that seeing as we didn't get anything at Fleet Week like that. Yeah, we didn't get one here either, and that's a little bit sad.
It's definitely different. And not to say that we might not get it. It might have been just pushed down the road a little bit, but you think if they were going into a sale, they'd be putting their best foot forward, so to speak. So yeah, I think sadly something's been pushed back again, so we'll have to wait and see. All right, with that then, he's been Badges, I've been Execute. We'll catch you next one.
Bye guys.